Yeah. Wait.
You have the tape?
No, this isn't the right one. You have it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Okay, food. What else about food? My mother was a great cook. Made me feel like a failure.
Done goofed.
Oh, God.
Oh, wrong tape.
That's
Too
okay.
soon.
It's okay.
Oh, man. False started.
False start. That's okay. That's okay.
It's
False
okay.
start is better than no start.
We're
Am
not
I
even
right?
using that interview.
That's true. But you gotta snip it. You gotta snip it.
A summation.
A summation.
What are we doing today?
Well, first of all, this isn't a special number, but we're on episode 78.
We've been doing this we've done this 78 times.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
know.
God, that's 78 recipes.
Oh my God.
That is 78 groups of people who we just got to
Talk to.
love up with our mouth sounds.
That was the weirdest way of saying we interviewed people, was we loved them up with our mouth sounds. Have you loved someone up with your mouth sounds today?
Every day.
If not, do it.
Every day, Elsa.
Don't touch me.
And you, what are we making today?
Oh my God. We're making chocolate chip cookies.
A classic.
I know, I'm really excited.
Oh,
it's gonna be a
God.
good time.
Everyone loves the chocolate chip cookie.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, no salmonella in this episode.
No in this episode.
Roll
Eat that dough.
the theme. You should say it.
Roll the theme song?
Roll the theme song.
Roll the theme song.
Roll the theme song.
Roll it.
And now, introducing your bakers, Rachel and Elsa.
Welcome to Fold and Gently, where we laugh and we bake all day.
Recipes.
We're your hosts, Rachel and Elsa, and we're so glad that you hit play.
Friendship.
Every week we make a new recipe, we tell you what to do.
Forgiveness.
And while you mix and stir, you listen close to the folks that we interview.
What's the last one?
Welcome to Fold and Gently. Welcome to Fold and Gently. Welcome to Fold and Gently. Bum.
Oh, it's fucking up. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
To Fold and Gently.
Recipes for friendship, forgiveness, and
Fucking
fucking
up.
Fucking up.
Every day.
Fucking up.
Um,
Fucking up.
Today, as we already said, we're going to be making chocolate chip cookies.
So good. And then the ingredients and the instructions are, of course, listed on your graphic, and they will remain there for the entirety of the podcast.
But we will also list them now for you guys, so you can feel free to start gathering as we speak them out with our mouths.
Yeah. I will speak out with my mouth now what you need. From your fridge, you need butter and milk. We're using vegan butter and soy milk. From your pantry, you will need brown sugar, white sugar, vanilla extract, flour, baking soda, baking powder, cornstarch, salt, and chocolate chip cookies, and chocolate chips. My favorite is semi-sweet.
I like
Some of
milk
you-
personally. As long as it's not white.
Yeah, please don't use white chocolate. That would make me so sad. For your baking equipment, you will need a 1 cup measuring cup, a 1/4 cup measuring cup, a teaspoon, a tablespoon, a whisk, a wooden spoon, a microwave-safe bowl, a mixing bowl, a baking sheet, and a cookie scoop if you have one. And then just a note to say that this was originally a vegan recipe, so vegan substitutes do work fine.
We enjoy the vegan milk and butter with the non-vegan
With the
chocolate
non-vegan
chips.
chocolate chips,
That would
yeah.
be my recommendation.
Absolutely. And while you're gathering, a little bit of housekeeping from Rachel. You want to go ahead and do that?
Sure. People who joined us last week, we made Dutch babies.
Yes.
They were delicious. They were
so
really
good.
good. And as we just said, this week will be chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, chocolate chip cookies. And then for those of you joining us for the first time, my name is Elsa.
And my name is Rachel, and we are roommates.
Roommates.
They were roommates.
Oh my god, and they were roommates.
In the sunny city of Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And in this quarantine, we decided to make a podcast, Fold and Gently, where every week we ask the question, how is food a part of who we are?
Mm-hmm.
The collective we, the individual you.
So basically how this works is every week we bake a new recipe together, and then while we bake, we listen to interviews from people who have been interviewed from around the country.
And we give you step-by-step instructions. We are baking along with you. And if you ever get lost or are not done yet or something, just refer to your graphic and feel free to hit pause.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
Hit pause. When you're ready to come back, hit play. We'll be here. Everything will be fine.
Yay!
Just a note to say, if you're listening with us on January 29th, you will not be able to hit pause. So this is recipes for friendship, forgiveness, and
Not fucking
up. But if you're listening any other time, you can utilize the pause button and then hit play, and everything will be just fine. Just
So
peachy.
you can
just
fuck
dandy.
up as much as you want.
Fuck up as much as you want. Okay. Back to your regular scheduled programming.
This is not a race.
Yeah, it's not a race. It's a baking experience.
Yeah.
Not a baking competition.
And you can always trust us to be here for you. We're going to be here to tell you what to do next.
Absolutely. So I guess, without further ado, if you have your ingredients gathered, we will go ahead and give you the first instructions.
Oh, one more.
What?
COVID.
Oh,
this
my
is
God.
COVID edition.
Don't remind me.
Just a little disclaimer. Disclaimer? Side note?
Yeah.
A thing to calm you is that this is COVID edition. No longer do we have our guests with us in our kitchen. These are pre-recorded and conducted in accordance.
Yeah, with COVID regulations.
COVID regulations.
COVID regulations.
So that means far away or thousands of miles away.
Exactly.
Just so you guys know, so you're in the loop.
In the loop. Okay, is that it?
That is it.
Okay, so instruction 1, the wet ingredients. Melt a half a cup of butter, that's 1 stick, in the microwave for 10 seconds. Your butter doesn't need to be completely melted, it just needs to be softened. Go ahead and pour that softened butter into your mixing bowl and cream it together with 1 cup of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of white sugar using a whisk. Whisk. After your butter and sugar have been combined, add 1/4 cup of milk and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract to your butter-sugar mixture and stir together. While you're combining your wet ingredients, we're going to play you the first story.
Is it time?
It is time.
It is time for barbecue weenies.
Barbecue weenies. We'll check back in later. Good luck.
Barbecue weenies.
Yeah, so every Christmas we would have these really, really good barbecued weenies. They were like an inch long, and so we would do them every year when we were making the tree, or we would get our tree, we'd go out and get it the day after Thanksgiving. We'd cut it down, big family trip. We'd go out, cut it down, bring it back, and then we'd decorate the whole tree. And when it's up, we'd make a bunch of hors d'oeuvres for the day. Half the team would be putting up the tree, the rest would be making hors d'oeuvres for putting up different decorations. Then of course, like 2 or 3 people would sit out for most of it, and then it was just kind of like became more hostile, and then we needed to eat the food. So, but then it was kind of the breaking point. Like that, once we started arguing, like, all right, let's get some hors d'oeuvres and settle down for a minute, and then put the last few ones that no one wants to do on the tree.
Right.
That's a good one. Every year we'd have that.
Like, what was your favorite foods there? The barbecue weenies?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, not necessarily in a combination order, but I mean, the chocolate fondue we would have was also gas. Yeah, that was pretty good. We would have that. I don't know. I feel like there was probably like veggie plates, but I was really young, so I mean, I only went for the barbecued weenies and fondue.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't really remember us having. I mean, I know we did have more, but those were my main ones that I would go to. That's, I mean, when I think of hors d'oeuvres, I think barbecued weenies and fondue.
Okay, I make a very mean koulibiak.
What is that?
Koulibiak, Koulibiac. It's a Russian word, and it is a puff pastry that is laid out, and you take a fillet of fresh salmon, wild salmon, may I say. And, well, first thing you do is it's layered. So you have the puff pastry, which you fold out. Then you put I think you put spinach next to it. Then you put a layer of rice that has been seasoned, cooked, and this, like, squeezed dry. And then you put the fish on top of it. And if you want to, you can have hard-cooked eggs sliced and layered across it. And then you repeat the same thing in reverse order. So rice, then spinach, and then you fold the puff pastry over it, and you make it into a big roll. Not really a roll, but a big loaf kind of a thing.
Uh-huh.
And then if you're really fussy, which I am, you make it look like a fish. So then you cut puff pastry, fins and tail, and then you make eyeballs out of the puff pastry. And and then you cook it. So because the salmon goes in raw.
Mm-hmm.
You can do 2 layers of it, but that's really overkill. I usually get a pretty thick fillet of salmon, and only have 1 layer of salmon in the middle. But you can do it rice and spinach, salmon, rice and spinach, salmon, rice and spinach, and then fold it over.
That sounds good.
You cut it like this, and so what you see is this layer of green, white, orange, white, green, and then the pastry. And then I take it 1 step further, and I paint it with edible gold paint.
Ooh.
So that the fish is gold on the outside.
And I would take that 1 step further and paint myself gold as I served the kubiak. Or prepared the kubiak.
You mean as you serve yourself?
As I serve myself. I am the main course. What am I talking about?
Kubiak? Who is she?
Bring a dish to pass. I brought myself.
To pass.
Like a potluck.
To pass over. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways.
We're back with step 2, the dry ingredients. Okay. Add 1 3/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and a half a teaspoon of salt to your mixing bowl. Combine everything, the wet and dry ingredients together thoroughly with a wooden spoon.
Or just a spoon.
But a wooden spoon.
Spoon.
Wooden.
Spoon.
Wooden.
Spoon!
It always felt like fend for yourself before they're gone, because if there's desserts, they won't last long. Like, we'd make a whole thing of brownies, and if I was young, there was a story, they made a whole pan of brownies, and I woke up the next morning. I was young. I had bedtime, and I couldn't eat any. And I woke up the next morning, and there was 1 left. And it was like just this small, like, crunched up corner piece that no one wanted to eat. And I was like, I remember I was furious. I, like, walked into my mom's room. I was like, you said you'd save some, not like this charcoal piece in the corner, like the reject piece nobody wants. What the heck? So, I mean, it was just kind of that style. I remember there was one time when my mom was at the store, she asked if I wanted anything sweet. So she picked up a box of sugar cookies, and I saw those sugar cookies, and so I saw them on the counter, and immediately, sugar cookies were one of my favorite desserts, and I was like, these are going to be gone. So I took the whole box up to my room and hid it under my futon, and just progressively over, like, the next 36 hours, just one after another.
Oh, yeah. I've done that.
Well, and then I remember because they thought they couldn't find them. They thought that they forgot them at the store, and then they found, like, the box by the futon, and they're like, oh, never mind. Like, you scoundrel, you just ate them all.
Sneaky. A scoundrel.
Oh, my God. This kind of reminds me of...
What?
Remember when, like, 2 weeks ago, you were really sick, and so I went into Zupans and got you fudgesicles and Gatorade?
Yes.
Okay,
Bless.
well, those...
Sick foods.
Well, okay, those fudgesicles have been in the freezer for, like, weeks since then.
I feel like they taste kind of weird.
Yeah, they taste a little frostbitten.
Is that what that is?
Not frostbitten, freezer burnt, not
Is that
frostbitten.
how but they tasted like that when we got them.
They're
just like not good fudgesicles.
No, but they're the fudgesicle brand, which is a bummer. So they should have tasted good.
Taste delicious. But so I've just kind of been caught and letting them sit.
Well, okay. So the other day you were at work and I wanted a fudgesicle.
Well, you're always welcome to them.
But in my mind, I felt like I didn't know if I was welcome to a fudgesicle.
You're always...
But I made the assumption that I was welcome to a fudgesicle.
A correct assumption.
But then I ate it.
Sneaky?
I felt a little sneaky, and so I ate it in the shower. Not because I was sneaking it, but because I felt sick, and I wanted a fudgesicle for my stomach because I felt sick, but I also wanted to be in the shower because I felt sick, and I didn't feel like I had enough time for both, so I ate the fudgesicle in the shower. But the steam from the shower helped the freezer burn issue because the steam kind of melted it, and it was delicious. And I think the popsicle stick is still in the shower. Wait. I think it is.
Just nude in a shower.
I just
eating a fudge
nude in the shower eating a fudgesicle. It was delicious.
I guess you would.
Honestly, I've reached my highest form.
Yeah, I think that is your peak.
I think so.
Well, I eat your peanut butter without telling you so.
That's okay. I think we
and
should
I
just...
do. Sometimes I'm like, I'll do it around the rim so then she won't see it. She won't see that. But I know you wouldn't care. It's not like I'm eating all your peanut butter.
I stick my finger right in your hummus sometimes. And then smooth it back over so there's no finger.
I don't even care.
I think we should make...
I would just think it was a carrot mark.
It was my finger.
But like, I wouldn't even... I would see it and I'd be like,
I know.
Elsa stuck a carrot in here. Like,
I was like, she'll know it's my finger. She'll never know. We should make a pact before everyone. We can just eat each other's food without sneaking, except for the things that we say no.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh,
so now that that's on the record, if you're still mixing your dry ingredients, keep mixing them. But before you keep going, preheat your oven to 350 degrees.
And if you are done mixing, just listen to just listen to this next story because it's a sweet one.
Yeah, it is.
It's really sweet.
It's sweet. Don't forget to preheat your oven.
Boing.
I'm gonna cry. Shut up. I did not.
I cry all the time.
Probably grape leaves, cheese potatoes. Yeah.
Oh. Why?
Potatoes. Kids.
Why?
Because my brother would call every year. He would call my mom, and then he would call me. It would be the time of year that we would make cheese potatoes. It would be Christmas, and he would inevitably call, like, do you put this? And he was a phenomenal cook, and we realized that calling for the cheese potato recipe was really just a ruse to, want to visit and know what we were cooking because it was the holidays and what are you baking, but it was always with the premise of, Carolyn, I'm making cheese potatoes and I can't remember, and he would call my mom and ask the same questions. Yeah. So cheese potatoes.
Yeah. That's nice. Do you think about your brother a lot when you cook?
Shut up. Why are we going here? Nope, I don't.
You don't?
Elsa, you're just trying to be intentionally unkind.
No, I'm not. This is the point of the show. It's talking about this.
Yeah.
He's dead. Elsa. Elsa.
He's dead.
Yeah, I was just filling her in.
Yeah, I do because he would come and it would when I had kids, I cooked dinner every day. Like there was nobody else that cooked. Like your dad didn't really, occasionally he'd, fucking go all out and make a badass breakfast, but he didn't usually cook dinner. So like there was no respite from that, raising a family. But my brother would come to town and with bags of just fabulous foods and meats and recipes and ideas, and it was an event, and it was fun to cook with him, to watch him cook, and yeah, it was just good times.
That's really nice. He was really good.
Yeah, it was. And he loved cooking for us. Mm-hmm. He loved cooking for you guys because you were just like the swarm and you guys all like loved anything that he would make.
Well, that was a bummer.
Elsa!
Emotion makes me uncomfortable!
It does.
It does.
That one was really sweet. That one.
You okay? You okay, fam?
Yes. That one just makes me think about my brother, Noah.
Yeah.
Hi, Noah.
Hi, Noah. You have a brother
I-
whose name is Noah.
Yes.
And I have a brother whose name is Noah. Just to say.
That's wild. Wow. I never knew that.
I know. just a little Fold and
Your
Gently
Noah
trivia.
is delightful.
Thank you. He
What a
is
sweetheart.
delightful. He's such a goob. He's just like,
He is a goof.
I don't even know. He's just, he has a whole Instagram dedicated to, oh, I can't give this away, but I'm going to say it anyway, to trains. I think it's called Michigan Rails or something like that, just as a side note. But anyways, your brother is also probably delightful. I met him on Christmas, and he seemed very nice.
Yeah. Big
Well,
old,
I met him on Zoom.
big old bear.
Christmas Zoom.
Big old bear of a man.
Yeah. He seemed so
He's
nice.
like me, but if I was 6'3" and had a lot of facial hair. Your
Oh
brother
my
is
God.
also a lot like you.
Yeah, we look a lot alike.
Yeah, you guys have different, like, you talk the same,
Uh-huh.
but he has the joy. He's like a Candyland character, and you're like a Jumanji character.
Oh my God. What the fuck? Fair
Is
enough.
that true?
I mean, probably. I don't know.
Is that fun?
Oh.
Maybe that's wrong.
That's really
I'm
funny.
so sorry.
No, that's okay. I wouldn't mind being a Jumanji character.
No. Oh, no.
Anyways. At the end of this podcast, yell Jumanji and the podcast will be over.
Is that how that works?
In the game, in Jumanji, once you win, you have to say Jumanji, and then all the animals
We've
go
gone
back
off the
into
rails.
the board. I know. Okay. Back to baking.
Baking.
Guess what time it is?
Chip o'clock.
Chip o'clock. It is chip o'clock. Mix in 1 cup of chocolate chips to your dough using a wooden spoon.
Or, your hand, how about? If you finish hand mixing before the next instruction, just feel free to eat some of that dough. Just right off your hand.
You ever had Easter cheese? Do you know what that is?
Easter cheese.
It's like this it's like this blocky substance that's made out of like egg, mostly.
What is cheese?
but it's like gets like cheese like. Here, let me look it up for you.
Easter cheese.
Is that a Hawaii thing?
No, but I did eat a lot of Spam growing up.
Is that because of Hawaii?
Yes,
Wow. Do you still eat a lot of... Oh, wait, no, you don't eat Spam anymore.
Easter cheese.
Show us the Easter
Did you
cheese.
eat it during Easter?
It's like egg.
Wait, let me see.
Does that taste good?
I was always scared of it. Like,
Wait, can I do that? Read what it is?
yeah.
That doesn't look... It looks interesting.
Oh, is it sweet?
Oh.
It's
Is it like
That's
a
eggs, milk, sugar, vanilla, and nutmeg.
no, that's not it.
You're like, no,
It's not sweet. It tastes like a giant deviled egg, but not mustard. But like,
bad.
Is it like...
it's just like super eggy.
Is it just like egg
It's
whites?
the only way I know how to describe it.
Is it like... what is this? Slovakian? What?
Yep.
Why did
Are you
that...
Slovak? Wait, Slovakian. Is that like Czechoslovakian?
Yeah.
Are you
Well, like
Czechoslovakian? Are you Slovakian?
that some people in my family were
Oh.
Czechoslovakian. But
Oh.
yeah.
And they were like, we
So
have to
that's
have
like,
the Easter cheese.
I guess it's a family tradition.
It's a bummer of all the foods they could have brought over from Czechoslovakia.
Like, you brought us Easter cheese?
Yeah.
Did
We also have pierogies,
What's pierogies?
like little noodles filled with like potato and
Are they
things.
Polish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you Polish?
I think that
I
too.
feel like probably sprinkle of Polish.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know. But
Okay, now it is time. This recipe makes about 20 cookies, so using your cookie scoop or a spoon or even your hand, I guess, scoop your cookie dough into balls that are a little bit bigger than a tablespoon. Place the dough onto your baking sheet, making sure to leave enough room between the dough so that they don't bake into each other. We can fit about 6 cookies on our baking sheet, but our baking sheet is kind of small, so use your best judgment.
And don't put them in the oven yet. We will be back soon to tell you when.
Yeah. So Home Depot, they have like a what is it? I think it's like a hot dog vendor, but it's at like multiple Home Depots, so I think it's a Home Depot thing. I don't know, but so every Saturday, I would go to my grandparents on the weekends, and every Saturday, me and my grandpa would go in the morning. Home Depot would have this building program, and we would go and like we'd build some craft, like a birdhouse or like a little box for what have you, some knickknacks that get tossed in the garage for, I think, get displayed a few days, just like your Home Depot knickknacks. But anyways, anytime we would leave after that, we would stop at the hot dog vendor, and we'd just pick up some hot dogs, or if we dropped our grandma off to go shopping, we'd head over, and it was lunchtime, she'd give sauce us a few bucks, and we'd go over to Home Depot she'd sauce us a few bucks, and we'd head over to Home Depot.
Wait, sorry. She'd sauce you a few bucks.
Yeah, and then we'd drop her off at Myers. She'd have a big list, and we'd go pick up some hot dogs, and then we'd pull over behind Kohl's. So there's a Kohl's next to the Home Depot, and we'd pull back behind there because we could look across. We were able to see the train tracks there. So then my grandpa would crack open his book, and he'd read, and I'd just either be on my iPod or peer out the window, waiting for a train and eating some Home Depot hot dogs. The gourmet.
Wait,
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he would make them. Yeah. No, he would make them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he had a large variety. He was quite the tradesman. He would make Polish dogs, hot dogs, brats. He had a whole selection. So.
Damn. That sounds so good.
Oh, it was great. Highly looked forward to.
Wow, that sounds really nice. Looking at trains eating hot dogs. I want to do that.
Oh, I tell you, it was a time to be able to just pull over behind Kohl's. Oh yeah, well, because of course we didn't have cell phones. I mean, they're both over 80, so they had like a flip phone. So how would we know like when to go back? We would have walkie-talkies. So we could be in the middle of we would be in Home Depot getting our hot dogs, and they had a fridge, so we could get some like chocolate milk if you want, or anything with it. I was young, so I mean it was always chocolate milk. But and then we'd get a little call on the walkie-talkie, and be like, "I'm ready to be picked up." Like, you rang, and then we'd scurry over and go pick her up and go home and unload the groceries. Yeah. It was much more efficient.
This is Rachel here, calling in to say it is now time to put your cookies in the oven. I repeat, it is now time to put your cookies in the oven. Set a timer for 13 minutes, like Lucky 13, Unlucky 13. Set a timer for 13 minutes, and, clean your kitchen. It's looking a mess. I repeat, it is looking a mess.
Speaking of salsa, I just made, tonight, I had mac and cheese. I put
salsa in your mac and cheese?
Salsa, because I didn't have milk.
Milk.
So usually I just use like starchy water, but I use like a little bit of that, and then I put like salsa in, because I had like not enough to like, I didn't have any chips, and I had like 2 spoonfuls of salsa left. So I was like, boom. It was really good.
Huh. That would never occur to me. Ever.
So like, I don't know. I feel like I never have the food that I want to eat, but I always have the food that I'm always like ready to experiment with the food that I do have. Like, I'm innovative, and sometimes it's good. Sometimes it doesn't work out. I'd say that's my cultural identity. I feel like I really fuck it up if I try to follow like a recipe. If it's cooking, like, I can't do cooking recipes very well.
Me neither. I
It's
just
hard
can't.
because there's too much to like do, and it's like if I don't know how to make it, it's like hard to learn.
Yeah. Do you bake?
Not usually. But like,
You
I
gotta
could
do
follow
that.
a recipe for
Yeah.
baking. Like, that's easier.
Baking? Is baking easier?
It depends. I feel like there are easier things you can bake, but there are also hard things.
Like baking, you have to be exact, but it's like straightforward. But with cooking, I feel like when you follow a recipe, they're like, and then you have to like milk a tree from your yard, and
then like stir, and then just,
you like whisk it, and then don't stop mixing it. And you're like, ah. That's very stressful.
They're like, do not stop mixing it, and prepare 3 cups of
Haggis.
Oh, do
And it's
you?
haggis. And Yeah, and the place we've always gotten haggis was out of it last year.
No.
So, and the farmer, what was the deal with it? The farmer was out of it because some shop that lots of people had gotten haggis from had gone out of business or something. And so there's a man who does, he has organic grass-fed sheep, and he makes his own haggis in Albany, Oregon, believe it or not. So we've grown accustomed to really good haggis. But the best way to do haggis is vegetarian because it's really the oatmeal and the spices that tell you that it's haggis, not the innards of the lamb.
Really?
Oatmeal. There's oatmeal in haggis?
Yeah, what's in haggis? Enlighten us.
Oh, haggis is the intestines of a sheep, ground up with oatmeal and spices and stuffed into the stomach of a sheep.
So how do you eat the stomach? So how do you do that vegetarian?
Well, you don't use lamb innards. I mean, you just use whatever you use as a vegetarian thing. Tofu, something, I don't know.
What do you put it inside?
Oh, well, you can put it in, you can make it like sausages, so you just put it in sausage skins.
Oh.
You know, what are they? Usually, aren't they usually pig intestines?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So like almost. Do you want to ask another one? Yeah.
Here's the deal. If you if you drink enough whiskey, you're going to like haggis.
True. If you get drunk enough, you'll like anything.
You know, I don't know if I will ever eat vegetarian haggis.
You know, I don't know if I'll ever find vegetarian
I
haggis.
don't know if anyone will ever eat vegetarian haggis.
Meat.
Oxymoron. Definition.
Meat parts
Does
in a
not
meat
work.
stomach. Vegetarian
style.
I guess, if you can make vegetarian... I don't know.
I guess maybe you could put it in like the
A cabbage stomach.
If you like thinned a cucumber, hollowed it out super intensely to where it was just God. Literally the skin and stuff in there. Maybe
it would kind of look the same with rice. That stuff they put rice rolls in rice paper.
Oh, like rice paper?
Yeah.
Oh, rice paper haggis. That's not a bad idea.
I don't know if you could bake it in rice paper.
Yeah, I don't think you don't bake rice paper. I think
it would look the same. I don't think you actually eat the stomach in haggis, though. I think you just eat the contents of the stomach.
Right, the oatmeal.
Speaking of contents, we're going to look at some
the content of your oven right now?
Oh, there's cookies in your oven, and you're not going to eat your oven. You're going to eat the cookies. But we want you to look at it. So, fuck. Okay, guys. So, basically, we're sitting in front of our oven right now, and we're watching our cookies bake.
And we think you should do the same.
We turned on our little oven light so we can see them, and we're sitting here. We're comfy. We're going to listen to these stories, and we want you guys to join us because, God damn it, we're going to be kids again, and it's going to be fun. Love you.
So chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
So I started making chocolate chip cookies when I moved in with Miss Malloy. And I remember when we lived with the Durkins, they would often make chocolate chip cookies. And I don't really remember how often, but I remember it being a big deal, right? And then that being a dessert that I actually got to eat because it wasn't dessert part of the 3-course meal. It would just be oh, their daughters are baking cookies and I get to have one. I don't have to eat my salad in order to eat this damn cookie. And so I started baking. I moved in with my mom when I was in 10th grade. So, and I would just bring them to school. It always made people happy. I would bake them for people's birthdays, and it was a very easy recipe to follow. And then when I went to Wellesley, when I went to college, I also would bake, when I was stressed out with school. And I would just bake a bunch of cookies and I'd put them out in the common areas, and it would always make people happy. So now I haven't baked this year. Actually, Rachel's now more of the baker, but I would say that I always just enjoyed how happy it made other people. And I think that that's what's nice about cooking, that you could kind of give someone like a present or like make someone feel good, because everyone loves a chocolate chip cookie. So that's, I think, probably my favorite recipe. I just think that it's like, I mean, yeah, everyone knows, I mean, not most people know a chocolate chip cookie. They kind of just remind you of being a kid, I would say.
Yeah. Can you speak to that a little bit more? Unless that was the whole thought, that's okay.
No, yeah. I would just say, yeah, I think that, like, I often seek childhood memories. You know, I didn't really have, you know, I had a lot of just crappy stuff happen. And, but I remember the joy of eating a chocolate chip cookie and the joy it brings others. It's very simple. You know, I think in a nutshell, that's also kind of what food does, is just like, it can make you, it can remind you of things. It can make you feel nostalgic.
One thing that I've never been able to master that I wish I had is my grandma made this soup that I ate as a child. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Like, if I could have it again, it'd be like her making it for me. It's fideo. It's so simple. It's like just vermicelli noodles, but she like fries them and until they're toasted, and then she would add it into, like, she would boil a brisket for another dish, and she would use that water, the leftover broth, and add some onion and tomato and garlic, and then put the noodles in there, and that was a soup. It's so simple.
That sounds really good.
But so it was like I would just like slurp it down. Like, as a kid, I would just eat more and more and more. Fideo. Yeah, I would just, my grandma's fideo was the best. And I haven't been able to, I try sometimes, but yeah.
Well, I feel like the pandemic hit, I don't know, I feel like I had to grow up really fast and just had to, like, start buying groceries for myself, like, all the time. Well, I guess I've been doing that for a while, but, like, I don't know, it felt like more, I felt like I wasn't living with any adults. And then I was like, wait, like, I'm the adult now. And I was like, oh shit. And then I had to, like, come to that realization. Like, I feel like the pandemic just made that, like, intense. So then I had a lot to do with just, like, feeding myself and, like, like, I'm depressed. I have to, like, make food before I can eat it. Like, I have to get out of bed first. So I'm like, okay. So I had a lot of fast food for a bit. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I did.
I
don't know. It was also like, I don't really have, like, my parents are in Maine. I'm like, where am I gonna,
Yeah. No, I had the same feeling. I was kind of like, oh, there's shit going down, and I'm, like, here, I'm alone, and, like, I need to be able to take care of myself alone.
Yeah, and, like, yeah, it sucks being a tenant. Like, I would love to just, like, live on a farm. But, like, I would love to have, like, cool farm neighbors, too, which is, like, hard to do. Armed on the farm.
Well, armed on the farm.
I'll just be like, tending to my carrots over here. No one's gonna fuck with me.
Totally. And then, like, now this time, right? Like, this pause, though, like, how much, it's so funny. I talk to whoever I talk to, and they're like, I'm getting really into cooking. And I'm like, who isn't getting really into cooking right now? It's like, we have all this time, and that we all are, like, everyone's baking bread, right? The run on flour.
I love that.
Right, totally. Like, we're all cooking more because we're all home more. So it's so interesting to me, there's this quote that I haven't put into the document from La Frontera. Anyway, I'll put it in there, but it's this quote of, like, Coatlicue, the serpent goddess I was telling you guys about on Wednesday. She in order for a society, she will lay a society flat in order for it to heal itself. And like the paragraph I was like, oh my God, that's COVID. Is that like, this is coming from, like if I really want to like get mystical about it, I was like, this is Coatlicue. Like she's causing us to like stop killing ourselves and like to heal ourselves by this forced pause. Anyway, I don't know what got me there.
Damn,
a forced pause.
Coatlicue out to get us.
She's coming for us, I feel like.
It's
God.
been really hard.
Yeah. Harder. What?
You know what?
You
You guys want to know something? We're just two idiots sitting in a closet right now. And
surrounded by like an exorbitant number of body pillows
and onesies to make the sound better.
Oh,
but we still struggle with sound because honestly I'm an amateur sound engineer.
Where is the white noise coming from?
And you know what? This isn't a pod. We're not on episode 78.
No.
This is
This isn't a podcast.
It's a fraud.
A fraudcast. We're fraudcasters. Oh no. But did you know that? No. Maybe.
We showed our friend and they listened to it the first time to like help us test it out, and we said, "Welcome to episode 78," and they went,
"It's not episode 78."
But the cookies are done.
The cookies are done.
We did it.
They deserve a song.
You did it.
You did it. We did it.
There's cookies.
Wow. We're really proud of you.
We're proud of me. You. Us.
Take your beautiful cookies out of the oven. They're
gonna look a little pale. That's just how this recipe is. So they won't do that golden brown thing.
Yeah.
So you can leave them in for 2 more minutes if you really want to, but
they might get too crunchy. So
they're gonna look a little white.
Yeah, but they're gonna be delicious. And once you take them out, let them cool for about 5 minutes before enjoying them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
turn your oven off.
Turn your oven off.
One of our friends ran this and said that we must say to turn the oven off.
They were stewing about people's ovens being left on.
Thank you, Wyatt.
So this is your official notification to turn your oven off.
Okay, back to it.
Yeah, what we're doing.
What was I saying? Oh yes. And so, we were just two dummies who was like. We're theater people.
We're theater.
Let's do a show.
We're creative, right?
And then we were on Fertile Ground's alternate list. And then they called us up.
They said, you're an alternate. And I said, okay.
And then they said, actually, JK, someone dropped out, make a show. And we went, oh, fuck. And
we tried.
And
we have like T-minus 4 hours till this technically has to be turned in.
Don't tell them that.
It's 8 p.m.
This was crafted delicately.
I mean, most of it was. We came in.
I've never opened it. Anywho.
Tokyo drifted around the corner here.
But, the question is real.
Yeah, the podcast is fake.
The
question is real.
We wanted connection. Because everything's hard
it's disconnected.
Right now.
Yeah.
We wanted...
What did we want? We wanted to answer our question.
We wanted to talk to people.
Yeah.
And when the pandemic hit, everyone was thinking about food. And weight and image. And we didn't want to make a show about that because we wanted this to be so fun and silly.
Yeah, we hope you had fun.
I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, we had fun.
We had
most of the time.
But yeah, we didn't know why we were thinking about food so much. And then we talked to all these people. And I think what we realized is that food is family and connectivity.
Yeah.
And bones.
I mean, do you feel like you know how food is a part of who you are?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I mean,
Not to put you on the spot.
No.
But to put you on the spot.
We recorded it ourselves before, like, along with everyone else's. And we chose not to put ours in because they were... sad.
It was like 2 a.m.
It was just weird. So, but what I came to the conclusion through Elsa's therapying of me, it was terrifying, was that food's always been a sore spot. I've always ate a lot and too much when I'm stressed. And I realized that I have all these foods I love that are based on memories with my family. Donuts with my dad at the beach, and chicken and rice with the guys who run the shop who know me and give me baklava on my birthday, and just all these great memories. And these are my foods that I always go to eat. And it wasn't that I realized through Elsa, it wasn't that I wanted these foods. I wanted the memories with them and the people with them.
Mm-hmm. You're not craving the food, you're craving the person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are feeling that right now. I'm craving lots of people.
Yeah.
How about you?
I feel like that was the noise of a clothes hanger, if you heard that.
We're in a closet.
We're in a closet. And side note, I'm making a lot of side notes, but I have a lot of floral for someone who doesn't wear floral very often.
You really
Though I
don't.
I do like it. It's nice.
You should wear more emerald green. It really makes your eyes pop.
Yeah, it is a good color.
And your hair. But
anyways,
how is food?
Not
Why?
at all.
Why this?
Why? I feel like what I've learned in making this fake podcast is that, like, if our question is how is food a part of who we are, that question is really hard to answer when you're still discovering who you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is part of the whole, but, like, I can't fully answer it yet because I don't know who I am yet. And that's how I think we got here. And it, like, in this pandemic, you know, you only have we have each other, but, like, you have yourself. And so being alone with that and learning who that is, this podcast in air quotes has been part of that journey, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that check out?
That does.
Does that answer the question?
It does.
So,
I mean, it's a different answer for everybody, but
yeah.
I think it all comes down to that. I mean, the question is different for everybody. The question and the answer. The answer is different for everybody, but whether it is making it, sharing it, craving it, food is kinship.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like with that information, the question for now is how do we continue to nurture and nourish not only ourselves, but each other, you know?
And that one's on you guys.
That one's for you.
We don't know. But we have one more story for you guys. Bong.
And with that final ding, we invite you to enjoy your cookies.
Cookie time!
Wow, we did it!
So thank you guys for coming to Fold and Gently.
Thank you for coming to Fold and Gently. Episode 78. That is actually episode 1. And will only ever be episode 1.
There'll never be a 2.
So I guess that's Rachel and Elsa signing off.
And as always, my friends, stay baked, stay hungry, stay sauced. Fuck.
Wait. Take 2. And as always, my friends,
stay baked, stay hungry, stay sauced.
See you later.
Love you!
Okay, I think we can stop recording.
Do you think that went well?
I don't know. Should we listen to it?
We should listen to it. It didn't record. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop.
We all need to eat food. We all need to eat food. And so that's awesome. That's how we're all connected. But there's so many different ways. And I love that food is always being, like, changed. I don't know. I really love watching cooking shows. And I love, like, how, like, these contemporary restaurateurs will, like, find new ways to just, like, present food, and then also, like, how they can cook it, and, like, what they can, I don't know, there's just so many more ways. Like, the art of food making is not dying. And I love that. Like, I really, really love how food is an art. And, yeah, it's like,
the food is also theater. Like everything is a performance. Step one. I'm just reading about that in my like theater theory class, and I'm like, shut up. It's true. I hate that. Yeah. But food, it's always around us. We need it. It's in us. We poop it. Like, isn't that the greatest? That's what I think about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I have any fun food stories. Oh, this is one thing I'll share. My grandma made this dish. It's called bunsit. It's like this noodle thing with like some vegetables. It's like very simple, but I never asked her how to make it. And just recently, I was just kind of like thinking about it, and I was like, it's probably like this and this and this. And then I made it, and I was like, are you joking? Did I do it? Did I literally just make it? And it was weird. And I sent a picture to my mom, and she was like, oh, you did this. I didn't even know what the dish was called when I was making it. It was just like something that like my grandma kind of did, and she was like, what? How did you do that? Did you ask anyone? And I was just like, so food is really in us, in our brains and everything. Like,
wait, what is bunsid? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, bunsit. It's like a noodle dish. It's kind of like the Filipino version of like chow mein, I would say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you were just like fucking around in the kitchen and you made it and you're like, oh, I did it.
Yeah, like, and it wasn't even like I did it. I was just like, oh, I made this. And I was like, tastes familiar. I sent a picture to my mom because I want her to know that I'm eating. And then she was like, you made bunsit. And I was like, I did. I did.
It's just like in your bones. It just like came out. It's like,
came out, yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, that's it. That's all my questions.
Mantel Media. Clink.